Good morning, everyone. My name is Sterling Higa, Chairperson of the Authority. I'd like to call to order the March 5th, 2026 public hearing of the Hawaii Community Development Authority. The time is now 9 a.m.
Thank you, Chair. In accordance with section 92-3.7 Hawaii Revised Statutes, the Hawaii Community Development Authority is holding today's public hearing virtually on Zoom and in person. The Zoom link details were included in the public hearing notice. Therefore, members of the public are welcome to join us on Zoom and also at our physical meeting site at the American Brewery Building, 547 Queen Street, second floor, boardroom, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. The HCDA communications staff is hosting this meeting. Once this meeting begins, everyone will be muted for clearer audio. Board members, if you have any concerns or questions, please unmute yourselves to speak. It is important that all individuals clearly state their name, pseudonym, or other identifier name each time prior to speaking. If you are providing verbal public testimony, your name will be called accordingly. If you are attending in person, when your name is called, please come to the front of the room. And if you're attending virtually, please turn your video on only while providing your testimony. In either case, please clearly state your name and affiliation and proceed with your testimony. Oral testimony will be limited to 3 minutes and accepted only on matters directly related to the public hearing subject. Keep in mind that this is an opportunity to share your thoughts with us. If you ask questions during your testimony, neither the board nor the staff is required to provide an answer. If the authority's connection for the remote meeting is lost, the meeting will be recessed until the connection is restored. If the connection cannot be restored within 30 minutes, the hearing will be reconvened on Friday, March 6, 2026 at 9 a.m. at the same physical location and virtual Zoom link as today's hearing. Thank you. Chair.
Thank you. HCDA board members, please remain visible and audible during the meeting. Also, please acknowledge you are present by either saying here or present. Let the record reflect that the following Kaka'ako members are present. Vice Chair Ishii.
Here.
Thank you. Secretary Lidstone is excused.
Let's go back.
Member Miranda Johnson.
Here.
Thank you. Member Anderson.
Here.
Thank you. Member Evans is excused.
Should be joining us here.
She's here. Okay. Member Evans, are you online?
He's in the attendee. She'll get transferred over.
Okay. Member Strites.
Here.
Thank you. Member Sakota.
Here.
Thank you. And Member Chino.
Here.
Okay. So we'll just
Check for member Lidstone.
Member Lidstone. We'll just mark them as they attend when they come in. So we have quorum.
Yeah, we're quorum, Chair.
Individuals from the public who have requested to provide verbal public. Oh,
I apologize,
Secretary.
Chair. I was in the waiting room. Apologies.
perfect. Got you.
Okay, we're quorum.
Also,
All right. Great. Everyone's here. Individuals from the public who have requested to provide verbal public testimony on a specific agenda item are on standby and will be permitted to provide testimony respectively. Would counsel for the applicant like to make their appearance at this time and introduce your party?
Certainly. Good morning, Chair Higa, members of the authority, Executive Director Akamoto, and HCDA staff, Brian Kang and Summer Kayabe, appearing on behalf of Victoria Ward Member. Morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Today's hearing on development permit number KK 25-045 is being convened under the provisions of chapter 15-22, the vested Montclair rules, and 15-219 rules of practice and procedure, Hawaii Administrative Rules, and section 206E-5.6 Hawaii Revised Statutes. This planned development permit application is being considered under the provisions of the 2005 Montclair rules, the vested rules pursuant to the amended and restated master plan development agreement for the Ward Neighborhood Master Plan between HCDA and Victoria Ward Limited, effective January 13th, 2025. The nature of today's public hearing is to allow the applicant to present the proposed modification request as provided in section 15-22-120 of the vested rules regarding the parking, height, and mixed-use podium, and to provide the general public with the opportunity to present oral and or written testimonies. Victoria Ward Limited is the applicant for the proposed project. The development permit number is KK 25-045. The project is Mahana Ward Village, tax map keys 1-2-3-002-116, portion of project location 2 Ward Avenue, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96814. The modification requested, the applicant is requesting a modification of the height of the parking and mixed-use podium from the vested Mount Airy rules, referred to as a modification request. The KK 23-027 permit approved the podium height increase from 45 feet up to 75 feet plus an additional 12 feet for accessory use structures having a total area less than 15% of the parking mixed-use podium roof area, and additional 18 feet for vent pipes, fans, roof access stairwells, and structures housing rooftop machinery on the mixed-use podium roof. The amended project proposes an additional 2.5 feet in height for a podium height of 77.5 feet, along with the additional 12 feet for accessory use structures having a total area less than 15% of the parking and mixed-use podium roof area, and an additional 18 feet for vent pipes, fans, roof access stairwells, and structures housing rooftop machinery on the mixed-use podium roof. Legal notice. A public hearing notice was published in the Honolulu Advertiser, Maui News, the Garden Isle, Hawaii Tribune Herald, and West Hawaii Today on Thursday, January 22nd, 2026.
Great. Thank you, Craig. This is a hearing to consider the modification request by the applicant. I'll briefly explain the procedures for today's public hearing. The HCDA staff will first present its report summarizing the amendments requested in the development permit application. Following that presentation, we will receive the presentation of the applicant and then testimony from the public. Only members of the authority and the executive director will be permitted to ask questions of the staff, applicant, or individuals providing testimony. Are there any questions as to our procedures? Seeing none, we will now begin our proceedings. Mr. Ryan Tam, HCDA's Director of Planning and Development, will now present the staff report. Mr. Ryan Tam.
Good morning, Chair Higa and board members online. The staff report was provided in your packets and also uploaded to the website for public review. I did want to acknowledge the hard work of Laura Moe, our staff planner, who actually drafted the staff reports for both the presentation hearing that we presented yesterday and then today's modification hearing, as well as all the support work by Keyline, Armenian, Fencing, and the rest of the team. As discussed yesterday, we also did want to clarify some of the figures on the staff report. So figure 1 on page 2 of the staff report, and I'm going to share an update here. So again, this is an updated figure 1, which shows an elevation looking Matai from the future rail station towards the plaza in front of the Mahana. So Ward Avenue is on the right and Halekulua Street private driveway extension is behind the building. So again, the previous permit, KAK 23-027, approved a 75-foot tall mixed-use podium shown by the green arrow and the dashed green line. The amended permit is requesting to increase this by 2.5 feet for a total height of 77.5 feet, as shown by the red arrow and red dash line. And here's an updated version of figure 2 from page 2 of the staff report. This shows an elevation looking Mauka from Halekulua Street private driveway. Ward Avenue is on the left. The plaza's in the center. The rail station would be behind this the building and the windscreen that you can see there. Again, the previously approved 75-foot tall mixed-use podium is shown in green, and the requested 77.5 foot tall podium height is approximately shown in red. Considerations for the modification request include flexibility, resulting in a practically and aesthetically superior development. No adverse uses to adjacent developments or uses. No adverse effects, to adjacent developments or uses. And consistency with the intent of the vested Mauka area plan. The requested modification does generally meet these criteria. Subject to your questions, this concludes the staff report.
Thank you. Members, any questions for staff? Seeing none, good morning, council.
Good morning.
Do you have any additional exhibits to admit?
Victoria Ward has no additional exhibits to admit today.
Great, thank you. The authority acknowledges that there are no additional exhibits offered by the applicant, and we will proceed to the hearing. Council, do you have any additional witnesses to call?
Yes, we do, Chair Higa. Our first witness is Kailani Sodaro. And as she gets up and sets up, Chair Higa, if I may just make a really quick statement just for purposes of the record this morning. In light of some of the public testimony that's been submitted, and we may have more public testimony today, just wanted to state that Victoria Ward fully respects that individuals may share their views and opinions on various topics in an appropriate forum. And by the same token, just for purposes of the record, Victoria Ward does respectfully also reserve all of its rights, including with respect to the relevance and materiality of public testimony submitted in these hearings for the amended Mahana application. Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, Victoria Ward does call Kailani Sodaro to testify.
Great, thank you. Could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provide is the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Sodaro again. Can you please restate your name, place of employment, position?
Morning, Kailani Sodaro, Senior Vice President for Planning and Development at Victoria Ward Limited.
And can you please briefly describe or summarize the modification requested in the amended application for Mahana?
So consistent with the Malka Area Plan, the 2005 Malka Area Rules, the Ward Neighborhood Master Plan, and is contemplated by the Block P3 PSA, VWL is requesting one modification to the vested rules for Mahana to increase the platform height an additional 2 feet 6 inches from the 75-foot height modification previously approved by HCDA in 2003 in connection with the original Mahana Plan Development Permit. The Block P3 PSA provided that the amended Mahana Ward Village PDP application would be, quote, inclusive of design adjustments to accommodate the supplemental floor area and or reasonable podium tolerances, end quote. The present modification request to increase the podium height to 77 feet 6 inches with additional permitted height for accessory use structures, among other benefits, allows Mahana, with the incorporation of the 163,000 square feet of supplemental floor area, to continue to effectively and efficiently provide key features within the podium and at ground level, including pedestrian access and activation in and around the development, ground floor commercial space, ample open space in the outdoor plaza, and podium level homes that increase buyer options and diversification. In addition to being contemplated in the Block P3 PSA, the present modification request is also materially consistent with and will complement other developments in Ward Village and Kaka'ako.
You touched a little bit on the public benefits for the modification. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Sure. The modification is essential to implementing the mixed-use live, work, and play vision of the Malka Area Plan, and it's exemplified throughout Ward Village. The height modification creates additional volume within the platform, which allows the bulk of the parking structure to be pulled up and away from the street, thereby facilitating the vertical mixing of uses throughout the building, including residential units in the podium, approximately 13,600 square feet of ground level commercial space, a colonnade for pedestrian access and outdoor seating, and additional open space in the Mahana site, including the plaza facing Ward Avenue. The additional 2 feet 6 inches in height, for example, ensures that the floor area of the plaza at the corner of Halikuwala and Ward Avenue near the future Heart Station, as well as other key outdoor seating and gathering areas along Halikuwala and open space around the project, remain materially the same size as previously approved, even with the incorporation of the supplemental floor area as authorized under the Block P3 PSA. A helpful illustration of how the modification transfers the volume within the platform to facilitate these mixed uses at the ground level and podium level homes is shown on Exhibit 24 of the amended application and Exhibit 1 in this proceeding. The left illustration on Exhibit 24 depicts Mahana without the modification and is permitted by right, under the vested rules. The next illustration shows the massing based on the commitments in the ward master plan. And then the right illustration shows the proposed design with modification. The modification permits the residential, retail, and open space in and around the podium, as well as the ability to maintain various ground floor design features, including the plaza and all the seating areas previously mentioned. Exhibit 26 through 29 of the amended application provides street level depictions also of Mahana, comparing the platform as permitted under the vested rules, and then again with the proposed modification. These depictions illustrate the modification even with all the incorporated supplemental floor area. This results in efficient, compact platform with significant open space and pedestrian activation at the ground level as contemplated by the MAPA area plan and the ward master plan. Accordingly, the requested modest increase in the platform height from the previous design minimizes increased horizontal building coverage and facilitates significant public benefits for both residents and visitors of Ward Village. Another benefit of increasing the volume within the platform is that space remains available for residential units within the platform. A key feature of Mahana's design, as previously approved by HCDA, provides additional buyer options and diversity within the project. And finally, increasing the platform height avoids the need for subsurface excavation associated with underground parking structures in the area with known subsurface sensitivities, including proximity to the water table. VWL is not requesting any modifications to the tower and platform setbacks, and both the tower and platform have greater setbacks from Ward Avenue than required under the vested rules. This design, along with the Malka Makai orientation of the long side of this slender building tower, will continue to preserve and enhance the view corridors through Ward Avenue and Victoria Ward Park. The platform height modification request is within reasonable tolerance and is also consistent with previous HCDA platform height modification approvals granted at A'ali'i and Io, which are also along the Hart Guide Rail route and have platforms at 75 feet in height. In short, the platform height modification provides significant community and public benefits, including facilitating continuous ground floor pedestrian activation, commercial, residential uses within the podium, and substantially publicly accessible space in and around the development as a whole. It's a strong and interesting streetscape that preserves important view corridors at this key gateway of Ward Village. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dodaro. Chair Giga, the Victoria Ward has no further questions for Ms. Dodaro at this time. Just for the record, her written testimony for this modification hearing is marked as Exhibit 5, and she was referring to slides marked as Exhibit 25. She's available for any questions.
Thank you. Members or Executive Director, do you have any questions for this witness?
Madam Chair.
Seeing none, do you have any further witnesses to call?
Yes, thank you, Chair
Thank you.
Giga. Our next witness is Tom Schnell.
Great.
Morning.
Mr. Schnell, could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provide is the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Schnell, good morning. Can you please restate your name for the record and your title and employment, please?
I'm Tom Schnell. I'm with PBR Hawaii and Associates. I'm a vice president and I'm a planner.
And Mr. Schnell, your resume is marked as an exhibit in the hearing. So, in terms of your educational background experience, that's described there. Is that correct?
Excuse me, Brian?
That's described in your resume. Is
Yes.
that correct? All right. Can you please describe the modification requested for the project from a planning perspective?
So the modification is to increase Mahana's mixed-use platform height an additional 2 feet 6 inches from the 75 feet that was already approved by HCDA in 2023. The requested modification is consistent with the Malka Area Plan, the 2005 Malka Area Rules, and the Ward Master Plan. In addition, the P3 lot transaction with HCDA expressly contemplated that the amended Mahana PDP application would be inclusive of design adjustments to accommodate the supplemental floor area or reasonable podium tolerances. The modification will facilitate the continued provision of commercial, residential, public, and open space in and around Mahana.
And you mentioned the ward master plan. Why is the proposed modification consistent with the ward master?
So the ward master plan specifically contemplated increased podium heights for all projects within Ward Village to allow retail, restaurants, and residential units to be built within the podium, parking structures to be moved up and away from the street, thus creating a more aesthetically pleasing and pedestrian-friendly facade. The present modification request for Mahana is within a reasonable tolerance of the 75-foot platform height originally approved by HCDA and as proposed in the Ward Master Plan.
And is the platform height modification for this project consistent with previously approved developments in Ward Village?
Yes, it is. HCDA has previously approved several other platform height modifications in Ward Village. I'd just like to say of note, K Kilohana, Ali'i, and Al, which are along the rail line, all have platform height modifications. And Mahana is also along the rail line. So the increased height along the rail line is a benefit for all of these buildings and the residents, moving their residential units up higher and also their podium and recreation deck facilities up higher.
Thank you, Mr. Schnell. Ms. Sodara touched upon the street and yard setbacks for Mahana Ward Village. So we won't go through that again with you, but I wanted to ask you, what is the result of exceeding the platform setback requirements for this project?
Exceeding the platform setback requirements and orientating the slender side of the tower and to the exceeding the platform setback requirements and orientating the slender side of the tower to Malcolm Mackay and exceeding the 75-foot tower setback will enhance views along Ward Avenue and through Victoria Ward Park, thus helping to preserve views and positively contributing to the aesthetic quality of Ward Village.
And are you familiar with Hawaii Administrative Rules 15-22-120, which provides certain criteria for granted platform height modification?
Yes, I'm familiar with HAR 15-22-120. It provides that platform heights may be modified to exceed 45 feet where subsurface construction is infeasible, design requirements for ceiling height clearances require height adjustment, industrial, commercial, residential, or community service uses are substantially located within the platform, especially along streets and public spaces, and significant public facilities or pedestrian features are provided at the street level.
And does Mahana, I'm sorry, does Mahana meet the criteria in the book?
Yes, the requested modification to increase the platform height meets all four criteria. First, the proposed modification avoids subsurface excavation activities. Second, to facilitate ceiling heights for commercial uses within the platform, an increase in the ground floor ceiling level height is necessary, therefore requires an increase in platform height. And third, Mahana's platform will include numerous street level amenities and features.
Turning to another section of the vested rules, Hawaii Administrative Rule 15-22-22 provides that modifications are permitted if the applicant can demonstrate that the modification would provide flexibility and result in a development that is practically and aesthetically superior to one without the modification. The modification would not adversely affect adjacent developments, and 3, the resulting development will be consistent with the intent of the Mount Area Plan. Does Mahana, in your professional opinion, meet the criteria of that rule?
Yes, it does. The modest increase in platform height from 75 feet that was previously approved to 77 feet 6 inches, provides greater volume within the platform, results in substantial flexibility for the inclusion of public and community benefits, including retail, open space, interesting streetscapes. The benefits substantially enhance the aesthetics of a walkable, active neighborhood contemplated by both the Malka area plan and the board master plan. In short, facilitated by the increased platform height, all of these elements will create a desirable urban development along Ward Avenue and Holly Kugela, increase pedestrian activity in this area.
And in your professional opinion, does the modification for Mahana adversely affect adjacent development or uses in the area?
No. As proposed, the modification is fully consistent with the ward master plan, as well as the DNO approving the ward master plan and the planned ground floor spaces, improved pedestrian roam and inclusion of retail dining facilities and options facilitated by the platform height modification will significantly enhance and complement these and other developments while maintaining required setbacks and viewplates.
And finally, in your professional opinion, does the modification to Mahana, or is the modification to Mahana consistent with the intent of the Malka area plan?
Yes, the modification is consistent with the intent of the Malka area plan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Schnell. Chair Higa, Victoria Ward has no further questions for Mr. Schnell at this time. Again, for the record, his written testimony is marked as Exhibit 7, and the slides again were part of Exhibit 25. He is available for any questions.
Thank you. Members or Executive Director, any questions for this witness?
Madam Chair.
Seeing none, do you have any further witnesses to call? Thank
Yes.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schnell. I will ask my co-counsel to call the next witness. Thank you.
Chair Higa, members of the authority, Victoria Ward calls as its next witness, Mr. Joseph Ferraro.
Here. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provide is the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Ferraro. Can you please state for the record your name, place of employment, and position?
Hi, my name is Joseph Ferraro. I am a founding principal and chairman of the board of Ferraro Choi. I'm a licensed architect in Hawaii and in New York and a fellow of the American Institute of Architects.
And Mr. Ferraro, what is your role for this project, Mahana Ward Village?
Ferraro Choi was retained to provide architectural peer review assistance for the Mahana Ward Village.
And can you please describe for us briefly what is the modification that's requested for this project?
Yes, Victoria Ward seeks a single modification, which is an increase in the podium height from the previously approved 75 feet to 77 feet 6 inches. In other words, 30 inches more.
And can you explain for us why is this modification necessary?
Yes, the project involves significant site constraints. These include adjacent rights of way, utility easements, the skyline guideway and station easement, a burial preserve on a neighboring property, and sewer and drainage easements that bisect the site and require substantial vertical and horizontal clearances. In addition, the project incorporates approximately 163,000 square feet of supplemental floor area authorized under the Lot P-3 purchase and sale agreement. Given these constraints and program requirements, the additional 2 feet 6 inches is a minimum reasonable and necessary to efficiently organize the parking, the circulation, the residential units, and the active ground floor uses while remaining consistent with the ward master plan.
And does the modification provide flexibility and result in a development that is both practically and aesthetically superior?
Yes, the additional height allows parking to be pulled inward and upward freeing the perimeter of the podium for residential units, for retail, for open space and pedestrian activation. This results in a more active, visually engaging streetscape with plaza space, a double height colonnade, and screened parking. Without the modification, the podium would be more constrained and less effective architecturally. And in my opinion, the modified design is materially superior.
Does the modification adversely affect other developments?
No. This increase from the previously approved height is modest and materially consistent with the developments in Ward Village. The podium and tower remain substantially set back from Ward Avenue, previously a key view corridor. The modification does not create material shadow impacts and avoids subsurface excavation for the parking.
And lastly, Mr. Ferraro, is the modification consistent with the Malka area plan?
Yes, it is. The Malka area plan envisions a mixed-use, pedestrian-oriented community with preserved view corridors and active streetscapes. This modification allows continued inclusion of this ground floor commercial space, open plaza areas, residential units in the podium, and pedestrian-friendly design features.
Thank you, Mr. Ferraro. Chair feedback. Victoria Ward has no additional questions for Mr. Ferraro at this time, but he is available for questions. Also note for the record that his written testimony for the modification hearing was received as Exhibit 10. And he's available for any questions at this time.
Thank you. Members or Executive Director, any questions for this witness? Seeing none. Thank you, Mr. Ferraro.
Thank you.
Do you have any further witnesses to call?
Victoria Ward has no further witnesses to call for the modification hearing.
Great, thank you very much. We'll now proceed to public testimony. The notice of this public hearing was published on Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, and written testimony was invited. Since yesterday's presentation public hearing, the HCA has received an additional 3 written testimonies, all in support. This brings the cumulative total to 113 written testimonies, 67 in support, 3 in opposition, and 43 for comments only. We will now proceed to take verbal public testimony. Speakers will be called upon to testify in the order in which they have signed up. Public testimony will be limited to 3 minutes each. Since each authority member has or will be given a copy of any written testimony that you might have provided, please refrain from reading your written testimony and instead summarize your comments in the time that you have available. When you are called, please clearly state your name and any organization that you are representing. And if you're attending virtually, please unmute your microphone and turn on your video. So we'll go in order. First, the people who signed up to testify in person. Second, the people who signed up to testify online. And then we'll go to people present in person and present online wishing to testify. Oh, sorry, Kevin, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. I'm a little bit not confused, but in just reading in the staff report and going through the documentation, that a lot of attention has been focused on the podium height increase, but we haven't really heard a lot of commentary about the actual changes to the height of the tower and the increase in the units. I know that's included in the staff report, but am I missing something, or from reading the staff report, it looks like it's all within our rules, but some pretty significant increases in the height of the building and the number of units.
Council?
Thank you, Chair. If it's permissible, if I may recall, Ms. Sudaro,
Please,
to address the question.
Kaitlani Sodaro for Victoria Ward Limited. Thank you, Member Sakota, for the question. I was just queuing with my counsel if we could direct the board to Exhibit 24. We'll pull that up online in a second, just to help bring a visual to explain the question that you're inquiring.
Okay.
So Exhibit 24, the PDP has a tower massing. And so this, I guess, is the best graphic visual to speak to the full floor plate to accommodate the additional 100, the 163,000 supplemental floor area, which I think it ties to about 157,000 actual residential square feet. That makes the tower a full floor plate compared to a portion of the building, which we could pull up the old PDP if you had wanted to see the comparison of how we're accommodating the additional residential units. But the tower massing exhibit is created to exactly address the question that you asked, Member Sakota. And there's no modification request to the tower height. And so all of the tower complies, said differently. And the details of that are provided in the compliance table within the PDP.
Okay. Can I ask I know a lot of things changed during the interim from planning to actual construction, but it's a pretty big changes in the number of units and sort of the tower heights going to change, et cetera. What was driving that? Is this a need for more units or sort of the economics of the building?
So this was contemplated in the prior PSA agreement that Victoria Ward Limited executed with HCDA to actualize the supplemental floor area as part of consideration of those parcel PSA agreements.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so Mahana was always earmarked for absorbing the supplemental floor area and brings obviously more housing to bring the total from 340 to 451 additional units.
Gotcha.
Maybe,
Okay.
Sakota, if I can, jump in here too.
Sure.
As you may recall, the board approved the acquisition of properties from Howard Hughes, specifically for the development of affordable housing and the use of floor area in our floor area bank to pay for those acquisitions. So the floor area that was given to Howard Hughes for the acquisition of those properties is the floor area the supplemental floor area that's being referred to here. So not only does it result in more residential units at Mahana, but it also will result when we do the development of additional housing units for these two parcels that we've acquired with floor area. Thank you.
Got you. Can I ask a follow-up question? Is the actual number of floors of the building increasing?
No, it's a full plate is what's resulting. So if we were to compare it to the prior PDP approved, a portion of the tower was at the maximum height that is
Gotcha.
allowable.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Member Sakota, and thank you to the witness.
I think he sounds good.
Yeah, members, any other questions before we go to public testimony? Good. Okay, thank you. Okay, we will proceed in the order of people who have registered in person to testify, people who have registered online to testify, and then people in person wishing to testify and people online wishing to testify. So the first person signed up to testify in person is Sam Kim, representing the Hawaii Regional Council of Carpenters. Mr. Sam Kim, you have 3 minutes.
Well, Chair and members, my name is Sam Kim. I manage government relations at the Hawaii Regional Council of Carpenters. I'm here testifying in support of the requested modification for the Mahana Ward Village project. So this proposed adjustment to the podium height is a practical design change that allows the project to function more efficiently while remaining consistent with the development rules governing the district. The amendment allows for modification 77.5 feet tall podium and is consistent with the 2005 HCDA Malpa area rules and Ward Village's amended and reinstated development agreement. The additional 2.5 feet over the allowed 75 feet permits for the parking required for the additional 111 homes. Further, this project accommodates the City and County of Honolulu wastewater easement that services regional sewer infrastructure that impacts the podium design. Reasonable modifications like this help projects proceed without unnecessary delays, which ultimately helps bring housing to market sooner. Mahalo for the opportunity to testify. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move now to the next testifier is Fred Tamayo, representing the Hawaii Carpenters Union.
Morning.
Morning. Hello, Chair and members of the authority. My name is Fred Tamayo, and I'm a service rep for the Hawaii Regional Council of Carpenters. I support the requested modification for the Mahana Ward Village project. Project like this supports hundreds of construction jobs while delivering new housing and commercial activity in Honolulu's urban core. Continued development with the Ward Village Master Plan sustains our local workforce, supports local contractors, and contributes to the broader economy. We respectfully urge approval of this requested modification and mahalo for the opportunity to testify. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. We'll move now to the next testifier, registered Mitchell Tainanes, representing the Hawaii Regional Council of Carpenters.
Morning, Chair, board members. My name is Mitchell Tainanes. I'm the field representative with the Hawaii Regional Council of Carpenters. I support the request for the modification for Mahana Ward Village project. The Ward Village Master Plan has been the result of years of careful planning and coordination with public agencies and the community. The request modification is consistent with the framework and helps continue the plan build out of the district while maintaining the development standard established under the master plan. Approving this request keeps a long-term vision for the area moving forward. Mahalo for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Move now to the next testifier, Mark Anthony Clemente, representing the Hawaii Regional Council of Carpenters.
Morning again, Chair, members of the authority. My name is Mark Anthony Clemente, Political Director for the Hawaii Regional Council of Carpenters, representing over 6,000 unions, skilled carpenters, and tradespeople across the islands. We're grateful to be here for the opportunity to provide testimony in strong support of the approval of the requested modification for Mahana Ward Village project. I submitted written testimony, but I just wanted to add on. The request before the authority is limited. It involves the modification to the podium height within a project that has already been approved under the Ward Village Master Plan. The project itself remains a mixed-use development that will deliver 451 homes in Honolulu's urban core, helping to expand housing in a district plan for walkable, transit-oriented development. Under Hawaii Administrative Rules 15-22-22, the authority may approve a modification if it results in a superior design, remains consistent with the intent of the Mauka area rules, and does not adversely affect from the surrounding properties. This request meets those standards, as you heard from the witnesses prior to my testimony. The modification allows for a more functional building design while remaining consistent with the development framework governing this district. The project continues to support the goals of the Mauka area rules, including urban housing development and vibrant mixed-use neighborhoods. Now, some testimony we've heard has focused on issues like construction noise, concerns about pets relieving themselves in landscape areas. And, while it's important to hear from the public, respectfully, while those concerns may matter to residents, they're not relevant to the modification before the authority today. And those things are addressed through different processes. We've also heard concerns about declining commercial activity in the area and economic activity. In reality, successful urban neighborhoods depend upon the residents who live in the area. Adding hundreds of new households strengthens that customer base that will support local businesses. And so in short, the modification remains consistent with the rules, consistent with the master plan, and does not create adverse impacts. And for those reasons, we respectfully ask the authority to approve this request.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll move now to people who pre-registered to testify online, the first of whom is Tyler Dang.
Mr. Dang.
We have Tyler Dang online.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me today. I'm Tyler Dang, and as a local resident born and raised in Kaimaki, I am testifying to the council with the approval of this modification and also the excitement and expectation for this project coming up. I want to be able to live and grow in the urban center of Honolulu prior to my career and during my career, and this opportunity presents a great opportunity for me. So thank you for hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Deng. The next person pre-registered to testify online is Brian Goldstein, although I suspected maybe Leela Goldstein. Brian or Leela Goldstein.
Yep, I'm here, Brian Goldstein. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Chair Higa, members of the board, my name's Brian Goldstein. I'm resident of Kō'ula. I've submitted written testimony in this matter. It was sent in yesterday. This board has broad authority to condition permit approvals on developer conduct and commitments. Today, I'm asking you to use that authority to condition approval of the Mahana permit on reinstatement of reasonable on-leash dog access to Victoria Ward Park. For more than 5 years, Howard Hughes actively promoted Ward Village as, and I'm using their words, quote, pet-friendly and pup-ready. Their website told residents they could, quote, take your dog for a walk anywhere in Ward Village, close quote. Another page, which they quietly took down just a few weeks ago, the same month they announced the ban, that page stated that all of our grounds are pet-friendly, allowing you and your pet the freedom to roam throughout the community. Both websites were attached to my written testimony. My wife Leila and I chose to buy our home in Kō'ula specifically because it sits next to Victoria Ward Park and because we were promised that this community and Victoria Ward Park specifically was pet friendly. Had we known that one day we would be banned, our dogs would be banned, and that residents would face threats of criminal prosecution, and that is happening, folks, criminal prosecution for walking our dogs on the grass, we would not have bought here. We're not alone. Many residents made the same financial decision based on that promise. We have over 450 members of the community have signed a petition demanding that dogs be allowed to be walked on leash in Victoria Ward Park. That petition was attached to my testimony. Yesterday, you heard Ms. Sodero testify that she has no involvement in operational managers and the residents should not contact her, that it's that's Ward Village in charge. I'd ask the board to note two things. First, every member of Ward Village Association board is a Howard Hughes employee. The separation she describes does not exist. Second, when residents wrote to Howard Hughes to ask about the dog ban, it was Ms. Sodero who responded, not Ward Village, defending the policy and claiming it was based on 5+ years of operating experience. So now residents are being followed, photographed, and confronted by security personnel. They're being handed formal criminal trespass notices, threatening 90-day bans and arrest. Yesterday, you heard Ms. Sodero say that Howard Hughes is responding to community concerns and considering alternatives such as a pocket park, a dog park, or possibly an off-leash area. Just give me 30 seconds, please. First, they're not responding to our concerns. They've never spoken to us. They've never reached out to us. Second, the solutions they're describing, we're not asking for. We don't want a separate gated park. We don't want to be segregated, and we are not interested in a pocket park. You're wasting your time. What we're asking for is simple, that residents and visitors be allowed to walk their dogs on leash throughout the community as was previously promised. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goldstein. The next person registered to testify online is Pane Miatoga.
Aloha, Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Aloha, Chair. Pane Miatonga III, Deputy Political Director for Operating Engineers, Local 3, here supporting the amended plan development permit application for Mahana Ward Village project. We are very supportive of this. We believe that the changes that are requested should be approved, as that will increase the additional housing, and also we feel that these changes are within, these modest increases are within the rules of the ACD and Mauka area rules. With that, we humbly ask for your support in this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Miatoga. We'll now move to the next testifier. It's Hawaii Lesset.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess we're not doing video today, so thank you very much. My name is Brian Lee with Hawaii Lesset. Just wanted to say hello to the chair, members, Executive Director Nakamoto, and HCDA staff. I really like these modifications. I think it improves the project tremendously. You know, the changes have all been contemplated by the rules and actually make the project much better. Change can be good. If we talk about not changing, you know, we must remember that the original Howard Hughes master plan allowed them to build 22 towers. So, you know, I think the 14 that they're going to build now are an improvement, and it shows that modifications can be better. And I also want to commend the Howard Hughes Corporation for front loading over 1,000 homes that have been subsidized by them and have been sold at below market rate. So that's very rare for developers to front load and advance the affordable portion of their requirements before building the rest of their project. So in short, you have my written testimony, and I appreciate the good and hard work that the developer has done, and that the community is just beautiful. So thank you for your work, and appreciate the time for testimony.
Thank you. Great. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Moving now to Nainoa Mao.
Good morning, Chair and members of the board. My name is Nainoa Mao. I'm the Executive Director of Friends of the Library of Hawaii, and we operate the bookstore Village Books and Music. We've been a tenant of Ward Village for 5 years this February, and we've been able to host many community and fundraising events that benefit our organization's mission in support of public libraries and to serve our island residents at Ward. We serve both visitors and residents of the neighborhood, many of whom value the convenience of having a bookstore just steps from their homes, a place where they can browse, learn, and gather close to where they live. And Mahana Ward Village will be another tremendous addition to Ward Village. And we ask that you support this project so that more local families can reside in Kaka'ako. Mahalo for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Mao. The next testifier is iPad 2.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Bryson Baker, Aloha Chair, Higa, and members of the board. I'm a proud member of the Hawaii Carpenters Union, and I work for Albert C. Kobayashi. On behalf of ACK, we'd like to offer our written and verbal testimony in support of Mahana Ward Village project by Howard Hughes. Right now, we're finishing up the Park Ward Village, and we recently completed the Victoria Ward Park expansion. Us local folks are here right from the community, and we're proud to see these projects bringing us local people together and creating more and real opportunities. We stand with Howard Hughes because they're giving us local people steady work and helping families stay in Hawaii. These kinds of projects keep our island home strong and gives everyone a better future. As a local boy growing up in Waianae, building more homes is vital for our families. This means that my children and my children's children can continue to grow here, live here, and thrive. We humbly ask for your approval of this PDP amendment so we can add 111 new homes and give more local folks a real shot at home ownership. Mahalo for your time. God bless. Aloha.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. God bless. Let the record reflect that Member Straits had to leave the meeting at 9:56 a.m. We'll move now to the next testifier, Andy Landgraf.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Great.
Morning, Chair Higa and members of the HCDA board. My name is Andy Landgraf. I'm the owner of 360 Productions. We're a local creative and production company who has had the benefit of working on numerous residential and commercial projects with Howard Hughes. Ward Village offers important opportunities for independent creative professionals like me, and Mahana Ward Village will be another tremendous addition to Ward Village, and it will create business opportunities at a time when our state economy really needs them. In addition to my written testimony I already submitted, I ask that you please approve this PDP amendment, which allows for more business opportunities and for the modification to allow for additional homes to benefit our community. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Landgraf. The next testifier online is Mike F.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, good morning, Chair Higa and members of the HCCA board. My name is Micah Furiyama, and currently I'm the RME for Green Thumb Incorporated, which is a full-service landscape construction contracting firm that worked on the landscape as the landscape subcontractor to Victoria Ward Park, Mackay, and we are currently on the Kalai project. I'm honored to be on the team that constructed the Mackay Park, which opened to the public in February of 2025. And I believe it was the first site's sustainable project in the state of Hawaii, which is equivalent to a LEED and is a framework administered by the U.S. Green Building Council for designing, developing, and managing sustainable and resilient landscapes and outdoor spaces. So I appreciate the commitment and investment by Ward Village in developing and maintaining public open spaces and parks for the community's enjoyment and which also benefits the environment. Kite Park's planting palette is approximately 60% of native Hawaiian plants and also contains some salvaged mature native trees from the nearby redevelopment sites, demonstrating Ward Village's commitment to sustainable material sourcing and ecological restoration. So while I submitted my written testimony, I just wanted to express my verbal support for this project's modification request. And this project will also provide another 450 plus families with an opportunity to live in the center of Honolulu and equitable access to Ward Village's green spaces, including the adjacent Victoria Ward Park, as mentioned before. So thank you for your time, Chair and board members.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Furiyama. Anyone in person wishing to provide testimony on this matter? Any persons online wishing to provide testimony?
Anyone? None online, Chair.
Okay. Seeing none, we will close public testimony and then proceed with closing today's proceedings. Council, do you have anything else to add?
Chair Higa, at this time, Victoria Ward has nothing further, no further evidence, and we request that the evidentiary portion of the hearing be closed. On behalf of Victoria's Ward, we'd like to thank the board and the staff very much for their time on this, and we appreciate consideration of the project.
Thank you, Council. The record for the public hearing is now closed. And if there are no further comments or discussion, then on behalf of the HCDA authority members and staff, I thank everyone for their attendance. Council, you have until the end of the business day on Friday, March 20th, 2026 to file the applicant's proposed findings of fact, conclusions of law, and decision in order with the authority. And the decision-making hearing for this project, Mahana Ward Village, will will be held on Wednesday, May 6th, 2026 at 9 a.m. This public hearing on the applicant's requested modification is now closed. The time is now 10 a.m. Thank you, board members, members of the public, staff, everyone for attending.